In a world where deception often lurks behind smooth words and false smiles, some people excel at twisting the truth. But there's one type of woman who isn't easily fooled: the Sigma female. With her sharp instincts and quiet confidence, she sees through lies and manipulations without breaking a sweat. Calm and observant, she doesn't need to confront or argue. Her strength lies in staying one step ahead of the game. In this video, we'll uncover the 10 types of liars, from the charmers to the manipulators, and show you how a Sigma female handles them with poise and precision. Ready to learn how she disarms deception and stays in control? Don't forget to subscribe to the Sigma Sisterhood channel for more empowering insights on navigating relationships and standing strong in your authenticity. Let's dive in. 1. The half-truth manipulator. The half-truth manipulator is crafty, blending lies with just enough truth to make their story seem believable. They drop in real details to throw you off, making it hard for most people to spot the lie. But a Sigma female is far from most people. She catches these manipulations effortlessly because she listens more carefully than others. Instead of getting wrapped up in the superficial truths, she spots the gaps, the missing details, the inconsistent timelines, or the overly convenient facts. Her strategy is patience. The Sigma female lets them speak without interruption, watching as they weave a web of half-truths. Most people would challenge the liar right away, but not her. She knows that letting them talk allows them to trip over their own lies. The manipulator grows more confident as they continue, but it's a false confidence. What makes the Sigma female stand out is her use of silence. She offers no validation, no agreement, just a calm, unblinking gaze that makes the manipulator question themselves. In her silence, they start second-guessing their story, wondering if they've overdone it. When she finally speaks, her questions are sharp and targeted, piercing through the inconsistencies with ease. The manipulator, once so confident, realizes too late that they've been outplayed. The Sigma female never needed to raise her voice or accuse them. She lets them unravel their own deceit. For the half-truth manipulator, dealing with a Sigma female is like playing a chess game against a master who's already planned 10 moves ahead. They may try to fool her with a clever mix of fact and fiction, but in the end, she dissects their lies with surgical precision, leaving them exposed and embarrassed. 2. The ego stroker. The ego stroker is a type of liar who lives off the admiration and validation of others. They exaggerate their achievements, inflate their importance, and weave tales of personal greatness. Their whole persona is built on the idea that they are larger than life, and they expect others to nod along in awe. While many fall for their charming stories, the Sigma female doesn't buy into the hype. Rather than confront their lies directly, she allows the ego stroker to continue talking. The more they boast, the more they reveal their insecurities. Their need for constant validation becomes painfully obvious, but the Sigma female remains calm, almost bored. Her lack of reaction is like kryptonite for the ego stroker. They thrive on applause and admiration, and when they don't get it, they start to panic. The Sigma female's tactic here is simple but highly effective. She lets them expose themselves. Without the fuel of admiration, the ego stroker stumbles. They begin to oversell their stories, adding details that don't quite fit, hoping to finally get the reaction they crave. But she remains unimpressed. Her sharp, well-timed questions further strip away their bravado, until the ego stroker is left with a deflated ego and a growing awareness that they've lost control of the conversation. In the end, the Sigma female's cool indifference strips away the ego stroker's illusions of grandeur. They walk away unsure of how they failed to impress her, but deep down, they know they were never in control. It's a quiet but devastating blow to their inflated self-image. 3. The victim liar. The victim liar thrives on sympathy. They craft stories of how the world has wronged them, using these tales to manipulate the emotions of those around them. Every setback is someone else's fault, and they're always the innocent party in a world full of villains. Most people feel sorry for them and rush to offer support, But not the Sigma female. She's far too perceptive to fall for the victim card. While others might offer a shoulder to cry on, the Sigma female remains emotionally detached. She listens to the victim liar's sob stories with a polite but distant gaze, not offering the pity they so desperately seek. The victim liar's manipulation hinges on eliciting sympathy, and when they don't get it, their strategy starts to crumble. The Sigma female's approach is not to attack or accuse, but to ask pointed questions that expose the inconsistencies in the victim liar's narrative. What did you do to address the situation, she might ask, or how did you contribute to this outcome? These questions force the victim liar to confront the reality of their own choices and actions, something they are deeply uncomfortable with. The victim liar quickly realizes that their usual tactics won't work here. Instead of being coddled, they're being held accountable. The Sigma female's quiet strength leaves them feeling exposed, and the more they push their narrative of victimhood, the more their story unravels. In the end, they back off, understanding that their manipulations don't hold power over someone who refuses to play into their drama. Through her unflinching composure, the Sigma female shows the victim liar that she is not easily swayed by emotional manipulation. Instead of being pulled into their web of deceit, she stands firm, reflecting back the truth they've been avoiding. More types of liars, and their unraveling to come. Each interaction shows just how much the Sigma female values authenticity over deception, cutting through the lies with grace and composure. 4. The Deflector. The Deflector is a master of distraction. When caught in a lie or confronted with a difficult situation, their instinct is to shift blame or redirect the conversation. Instead of taking responsibility, they'll point fingers at someone else, turn the spotlight on unrelated issues, or claim that everyone else is overreacting. To many, this can be confusing or even convincing, as they twist the conversation into something it was never supposed to be. But the Sigma female is a mental fortress, too sharp to be thrown off course by such tactics. The Deflector may try to throw chaos into the conversation, hoping to dodge accountability, but the Sigma female sees through it immediately. She doesn't get swept up in the whirlwind of accusations or distractions. Instead, she maintains her focus on the original issue. Her strength lies in her clarity of thought and unwavering determination to get to the heart of the matter. When the Deflector tries to shift the blame, the Sigma female simply brings the conversation back to the point at hand. "That's not what we're discussing," she might say calmly, steering the conversation back to the original issue. Her directness is disarming because it cuts through the noise. While others might get caught up in the emotional storm the Deflector creates, she remains anchored. The Deflector grows increasingly desperate as their usual tricks fail to work. The Sigma female isn't afraid of awkward silences either. When the Deflector tries to evade responsibility, she lets the silence sit, waiting for them to face the truth. And when she does speak, her words are precise and cutting, leaving no room for misinterpretation. In dealing with a Deflector, the Sigma female turns their own tactics against them. By refusing to engage with their distractions, she forces them to confront their own actions. There's no escape when she's in control of the conversation, and the Deflector soon finds themselves trapped in the corner they were trying to avoid. Ultimately, the Deflector realizes that their usual bag of tricks, blame shifting, denial, and distraction, has no effect on someone as steady and self-assured as the Sigma female. Her mental clarity and sharp focus make her immune to their deflections, and they're left with no choice but to face the truth. 5. The Flatterer. The flatterer is a dangerous type of liar because their manipulations come in the form of praise. They use compliments and admiration as tools to win you over, making you feel special while subtly controlling your emotions and actions. It's easy to fall into their trap because who doesn't enjoy being complimented? But the Sigma female is not moved by superficial praise. She understands that flattery, when excessive or insincere, is a tool used by those who have ulterior motives. The flatterer's game is to build you up with kind words, making you feel indebted to them. They hope that by showering you with praise, you'll be more willing to overlook their flaws, forgive their mistakes, or agree to their demands. But the Sigma female is too self-aware to be manipulated by sweet words. She knows her own worth and doesn't need external validation to feel confident in who she is. When the flatterer begins their charm offensive, the Sigma female doesn't respond with excitement or gratitude. Instead, she keeps a level head, acknowledging the compliments but not letting them sway her judgment. She knows that true compliments come naturally and don't feel forced or over the top. Flattery, on the other hand, feels excessive and strategic, and the Sigma female can tell the difference. Her response to the flatterer is subtle but powerful. She doesn't reject the compliments outright. That would only encourage them to try harder. Instead, she acknowledges them with a polite smile, offering a neutral response that doesn't give the flatterer the reaction they're hoping for. Her calm and composed demeanor shows that she's not fooled by their tactics, and this throws the flatterer off balance. As the conversation continues, the flatterer realizes that their attempts at manipulation are falling flat. The Sigma female's unwavering self-assurance leaves no room for flattery to take root. She remains grounded in her own truth, making it clear that her decisions and opinions are based on facts and logic, not on empty praise. In the end, the flatterer is left frustrated, knowing they've failed to charm their way into her good graces. For the Sigma female, flattery is just another form of manipulation, one that she easily brushes aside with her inner strength and sharp intuition. 6. The Overe Exoggerator. The Overe Exoggerator is a person who takes the truth and inflates it to epic proportions, making themselves look far more impressive than they really are. They love to embellish their stories, adding layers of drama and excitement to create a narrative that positions them as the hero. To some, these tales might seem thrilling and awe-inspiring, but to a Sigma female, they're nothing more than a performance designed to inflate the Overe Exoggerator's ego. While others might be swept away by the grandiosity of the Overe Exoggerator's stories, the Sigma female remains unimpressed. She knows that true greatness doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. It speaks for itself. And that's where the Overe Exoggerator falls short. Their constant need to amplify their achievements reveals their insecurity, and the Sigma female picks up on this immediately. Her strategy when dealing with an Overe Exoggerator is simple. She asks for details. She calmly inquires about specifics, subtly probing the exaggerated story for weaknesses. "That sounds incredible. How exactly did that happen?" she might ask with a smile, inviting the Overe Exoggerator to explain further. This tactic works because the Overe Exoggerator often hasn't thought through the finer points of their tale. They get caught up in the excitement of their own narrative and forget that someone might actually ask questions. As the Sigma female gently peels back the layers of exaggeration, the story begins to unravel. The Overe Exoggerator stumbles over the details, trying to keep their tale intact but ultimately failing. The more they try to embellish, the more obvious it becomes that their story is built on shaky ground. For the Sigma female, exposing the truth doesn't require confrontation or accusations. She lets the Overe Exoggerator's words do the work for her, calmly guiding the conversation toward clarity. By the end, the Overe Exoggerator is left feeling deflated, realizing that their attempt to impress has backfired. In the world of the Sigma female, actions speak louder than words. She values authenticity and substance over showmanship, and the Overe Exoggerator's flashy tales hold no power over her steady, discerning mind. 7. The Guilt Tripper. The guilt tripper operates by making others feel responsible for their problems. They twist situations to make it seem as though you've wronged them, even when you haven't, turning your empathy into a tool of manipulation. They thrive on playing the victim, hoping to get what they want through emotional manipulation, making you feel guilty for things that aren't your fault. It's a subtle but powerful tactic, and many people fall for it, but not the Sigma female. The Sigma female sees through guilt-tripping tactics because she understands the difference between genuine emotional needs and manipulative behavior. She recognizes that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not on one person using guilt as a weapon. When someone tries to guilt-trip her, the Sigma female doesn't react with defensiveness or self-blame. Instead, she calmly assesses the situation to determine whether the guilt being imposed on her is warranted. When dealing with a guilt tripper, the Sigma female's strength lies in her emotional independence. She refuses to let someone else dictate how she should feel. If a guilt tripper tries to make her feel responsible for something she didn't cause, she doesn't take the bait. Instead, she sets firm boundaries. For example, if someone says, "You never make time for me anymore," the Sigma female might respond, "I understand you're upset, but I also have my own priorities." Her response is direct, acknowledging the other person's feelings without accepting unwarranted guilt. One of the key ways the Sigma female handles guilt trippers is by maintaining her own sense of self-worth. Guilt trippers often rely on their targets feeling insecure or overly empathetic to succeed in their manipulation. But the Sigma female is confident in her choices and doesn't need external validation to feel good about herself. This makes it hard for the guilt tripper to get a foothold in her emotional world. Even when the guilt tripper escalates their tactics, perhaps by becoming more dramatic or emotional, the Sigma female remains calm and composed. She doesn't allow herself to get caught up in their emotional storm. Instead, she offers logical, compassionate responses that diffuse the situation without giving in to the manipulation. At the end of the day, the guilt tripper finds that their attempts to control the Sigma female through emotional manipulation don't work. Her inner strength and emotional intelligence keep her from falling into their trap. She is firm, yet fair, empathetic, but not easily swayed, making her immune to the guilt tripper's tactics. 8. The pathological liar. The pathological liar is perhaps the most dangerous type of liar because they are habitual and often believe their own lies. They weave falsehoods into the fabric of everyday conversations, making it difficult to discern the truth from fiction. They lie not out of necessity, but out of compulsion, and often their lies are so intricate that they create entire fictional worlds in which they live. For most people, dealing with a pathological liar is exhausting and confusing, but for the Sigma female, it's just another challenge she is more than capable of handling. The Sigma female's keen observation skills allow her to detect patterns in behavior, which makes it easier for her to identify when someone is lying. Pathological liars often contradict themselves without realizing it, and the Sigma female is quick to notice these inconsistencies. She doesn't confront them immediately, though. Instead, she allows the liar to dig themselves deeper into their web of deceit, quietly gathering information and biding her time. While others might be overwhelmed by the constant barrage of lies, the Sigma female remains unaffected. Her strong sense of self ensures that she doesn't take the liar's stories at face value, and she's not easily swayed by their elaborate tales. She listens, but she doesn't believe until she has evidence to back up what's being said. This ability to detach emotionally from the liar's stories gives her a significant advantage, as she's able to stay rational and composed, while others may become frustrated or confused. When the time is right, the Sigma female confronts the pathological liar, but she does so with precision and care. She's not interested in shaming them or starting an argument. Her goal is to expose the truth. She might say something like, "I've noticed that your story has changed a few times. Can you clarify what really happened?" This subtle approach forces the liar to confront their own inconsistencies without feeling attacked, often leading them to trip up in their own falsehoods. In the end, the pathological liar is no match for the Sigma female's analytical mind and unwavering commitment to the truth. Where others might get tangled in the liar's web, she remains a step ahead, using her intelligence and intuition to navigate the lies and uncover the reality hidden beneath. 9. The attention seeker. The attention seeker craves validation and will go to great lengths to be the center of attention, often resorting to lies or exaggerations to keep the spotlight on themselves. They thrive on being admired or envied and will manufacture drama or tell outrageous stories to ensure all eyes are on them. This behavior can be exhausting for those around them, especially when their need for attention becomes disruptive. However, the Sigma female is neither dazzled nor distracted by the attention seeker's antics. While the attention seeker works hard to draw others into their orbit, the Sigma female remains grounded and focused on what really matters. She isn't impressed by flashy displays or loud personalities, and she doesn't feel the need to compete for attention. Her quiet confidence is enough to command respect without needing to shout for it. This natural self-assurance makes the attention seeker's tactics ineffective on her. When an attention seeker tries to dominate a conversation or situation, the Sigma female has a unique way of handling them. Instead of feeding into their need for validation, she redirects the focus away from them. If someone is telling an exaggerated story to gain attention, she might calmly steer the conversation toward a more meaningful topic. This gentle redirection subtly undermines the attention seeker's attempts to monopolize the spotlight without creating conflict. Moreover, the Sigma female's authenticity stands in stark contrast to the attention seeker's often superficial behavior. People are naturally drawn to her because she doesn't seek approval or admiration. She simply is. Her quiet strength and inner peace speak louder than any attention seeker's desperate attempts for recognition. Over time, the attention seeker realizes that their usual methods don't work with the Sigma female. Her refusal to be drawn into their drama, combined with her ability to shift the focus away from them, makes her a difficult target. Eventually, they move on, seeking easier prey elsewhere. The Sigma female's calm, centered approach leaves the attention seeker feeling powerless, as their need for validation goes unmet in her presence. 10. The control freak. The control freak is obsessed with managing every aspect of a situation, from the smallest details to the overall direction. They don't trust others to make decisions and feel the need to assert dominance by controlling how things are done. This need for control often stems from their own insecurities, but it can be suffocating for those around them. They manipulate situations to maintain power and keep others under their thumb, believing that without their intervention, things will spiral out of control. But the Sigma female refuses to be controlled by anyone. The Sigma female values her independence above all else. She lives life on her terms, and the idea of someone else dictating her actions is unacceptable to her. When faced with a control freak, she remains calm and grounded, refusing to give in to their demands or manipulative tactics. Unlike others who might get caught up in the control freak's chaos, the Sigma female doesn't allow herself to be micromanaged. She sets firm boundaries early on, making it clear that she won't be pushed around. When the control freak tries to impose their will on her, the Sigma female responds with quiet assertiveness. She might say something like, "I appreciate your input, but I'll handle it my way." This direct but respectful approach throws the control freak off balance, as they're not used to people standing up to them without confrontation. The Sigma female doesn't need to engage in a power struggle. Her confidence and self-assuredness make it clear that she won't be controlled. What sets the Sigma female apart in these situations is her ability to maintain control of her own life without needing to control others. While the control freak is constantly trying to manipulate situations, the Sigma female is content to let others live as they choose, as long as her own freedom remains intact. This creates a stark contrast between her calm independence and the control freak's frantic need for dominance. Over time, the control freak realizes that their usual tactics don't work on the Sigma female. She remains unbothered by their attempts to control her, and her quiet defiance renders their efforts futile. Eventually, they give up, recognizing that the Sigma female is too strong-willed to be manipulated or controlled. The Sigma female's ability to handle toxic individuals, whether it's the narcissist, the critic, the manipulator, or any other type, stems from her quiet inner strength and unwavering sense of self. She doesn't seek validation from others, nor does she allow herself to be drawn into petty conflicts or power struggles. Her emotional independence, coupled with her keen intuition, makes her a formidable force in any interaction. What truly sets the Sigma female apart is her calm approach to adversity. While others might get flustered or emotional when dealing with difficult personalities, she remains composed, using logic and empathy to navigate even the trickiest situations. Her strength isn't loud or boastful, but it's unmistakable. She knows who she is, what she stands for, and refuses to compromise her values for anyone. By standing firm in her boundaries and refusing to be manipulated, The Sigma female not only protects herself, but also sets a powerful example for others. She shows that it's possible to handle toxic people without losing your sense of self, and that true strength comes from within, not from dominating or controlling others. In a world full of noise and chaos, the Sigma female's quiet confidence is a rare and valuable asset. She doesn't need to shout to be heard, nor does she need to prove herself to anyone. Her presence alone commands respect, and her ability to navigate complex social dynamics with grace and intelligence makes her an inspiration to those around her. So, whether you're dealing with a narcissist, a manipulator, or a control freak, channel your inner Sigma female. Stay calm, stay strong, and never let anyone dim your light. Remember, your power lies in your ability to remain true to yourself, no matter what challenges come your way.